Today on Suncoast View, new construction is popping up throughout the Suncoast. What will it mean for pedestrians? We'll discuss.
The first 1,000 days of a child's life are often the most crucial. We'll learn why and how a Suncoast organization is working to help.
And summer means mosquito season, but Sarasota County has some ways to beat the bugs. All that and more right now on Suncoast View. Welcome to the show. Stephanie is off this week, so Linda, it's just you and me.
Oh, this is going to be fun, Joey.
This is going to be fun.
Stephanie is floating around Alaska someplace.
Yes.
Here we are in the warm sunshine.
Exactly. You know what? It's true. When other people vacation, I'm reminded that we live where people vacation, so we're very lucky to be behind.
So we'll get outside and see what fun it can be around here.
Yes. Well, all right. You, I know, had a very, very big weekend finishing up your move, but you had a nice surprise happen. Tell us about it.
I closed on my house that I've lived in for 20 years today, so it was full of stuff. Yeah, knock on wood, because it has to be empty. And I called Lynn Robbins, sold me that house 20 years ago. She sold it today. She sold me my new house. She sold my daughter my new house. There's Lynn. She is always helping everybody. And I called her. She can solve any problem. I called her Friday afternoon and I said, Lynn, I'm not going to be able to make the move. I've got a bedroom suite in my downstairs. The people who were going to take it didn't show up. What am I going to do?
Because you're downsizing quite a bit.
Oh, yeah, 7,000 feet to 2,500 square feet. But Lynn said, don't worry, I'll take care of it. Just go over to your house. And up drives a truck, and out get the two former mayors of Sarasota. These guys have been mayors 3 times. They've both been city commissioners forever, Fred Atkins and Willie Shaw. And it turns out they have sort of like, I think their mother started it, sort of a warehouse for people who are in need in the community. So if you need a bed, if you need a can opener, whatever you really, really need, they keep it stocked up and they give it to you. They give people things. They're not for money. They're not looking for any kind of tax write-off, nothing. They just want to help people who are in desperate need. I had tears in my eyes. I have not met anybody that just did something good for somebody else like that in a long, long time. And they said their mother started it. What
a wonderful thing to continue, and what a great way to solve kind of 2 problems. So you needed to get the furniture out, but you know that it went to
somebody
to a great
really
cause.
needed it. They said just that week they'd had a young girl come in, and she had no bed to sleep in, and they were able to just give her a bed.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So I felt good, and I felt a new faith in human nature.
Yes. Oh, that's great. What a nice way to start the week, and what a nice way to kind of wrap up the move for you. So we are excited that you're back. I see you found your earrings. If you caught last week, Linda was still unpacking everything. So
there's still a few things missing, but I've got that.
Well, we are off to a good start, so that's good news. Also, we are off to a good start in the kitchen. We have, welcome back, Chef Caroline from Libby's. What are we making today?
Well, today we're going to be making spasta.
Spasta.
Spasta is, instead of using, your regular spaghetti pasta, we can use spaghetti squash. And it's a vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free.
I love
it.
Really low calorie, really, nice and light for summer.
Nice.
That sounds delicious.
Spaghetti, squash, pasta. I've heard of zoodles.
Right. Delicious. When I made it, I'm afraid it would taste like squash.
Right.
Well, this is wonderful, and I know is this part of your Savor Sarasota menu?
It is, absolutely. Yep.
Which is a great promotion happening throughout Sarasota. We will learn a little bit more about Savor Sarasota later on in the show, but we can't wait to join you in the kitchen to make spasta.
Thank you.
I'm excited. This is a great way to start the week. Well, we love when one of our Hollywood friends, actor and acting coach, Greg Pitts, stops by our show. One of the great things I love about the Suncoast is that we have so much talent that may be from here, but then they come back and share their talent. And if you know Greg Pitts from the films Office Space and several TV and film appearances, well, he stopped by last month and we looked at some of the Suncoast's hottest headlines. Let's take a look.
Have you been down Lemon Avenue lately in downtown Sarasota? Big changes are taking place. The Mark, a mixed-use condominium and retail building, is being constructed south of Main. And now the city is discussing making a more pedestrian-focused center for the project to make downtown even more walker-friendly. Planners want the option to block off through traffic at Lemon and Pineapple for events. What do you think about this? That does make driving a little bit more of a challenge down
well,
there.
you can't park down there, so you might as well walk it. You're going to have to anyway.
That's a good
so
point.
I think it'll be really nice. That's across from the First United Methodist Church. It used to be our parking lot. Now it's going to be a huge building, but I think it will be a nice area.
You don't
to
think we're
walk
going to
in.
have any problems getting over to Burns Court or anything if that gets blocked there?
Well, with the current construction that's happening now around Orange, I think we're all learning ways to get around anyway. So
Yeah.
what looks like it's a big pain in the butt right now, but it is teaching us that we can get around, and sometimes you have to park a few blocks away and
Yep.
and walk it. So maybe it's good timing.
Yeah, we've just got to figure out our parking because we're people of habit.
Well, and there's a big garage on State now over by Bricks and State Street Eating House that seems, I know when I've been down there, where I've been able to pop in.
And I think once you force people to get out of the car and walk, you notice stores and restaurants and things that you didn't even realize were there because
Yeah. I
you're
think
walking
you're
right
right.
past them. Yeah.
And it's not too far a walk
That's right.
for people my age, so there's no excuse for that.
Yes, and you're right. And there are more businesses popping up, and I think that it does that curiosity of, oh, what's up there? What's up there? Keeps you moving, as opposed to if you had 3 dead blocks and then your destination, that's a little
Oh,
harder.
yeah, I don't want
to get
that.
people
I
No,
to.
don't
I think it'll help fill in some of those lemon
Yeah.
and orange side streets too, because I know some businesses have had trouble staying there. And I think Greg's right. It's because there isn't or wasn't a lot of foot traffic there because people park on Main. So now
Some really great businesses. There was a really great bakery, and I can't remember the name of it now, but it had wonderful pastries and everything, and
Yep.
and I don't think they could sustain
the
theirs.
Baltimore snowball ice
Yes.
place,
Ooh.
remember that? That didn't hang on, and I think one of the reasons was just not enough people over there.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Some of my favorite shops are still there, and I'll walk if I have to.
There you go.
Linda's a good sport about that. So one of the final pieces of Obamacare goes into effect this week. Chain restaurants must now post their nutritional information and calorie counts of menu items. You'll also now see labels at grocery stores, convenience stores, movie theaters, and even vending machines. The FDA says educated customers order on average 50 fewer calories when they are more aware of nutritional information. Do calorie counts impact your ordering?
Yes, but I wonder how they know for sure that this is the truth. I hate to be a pessimist, but I wonder who's deciding what the calorie count is.
Well, I know that when our friend Chef Bob from Gold Rush started his own barbecue sauce, he had to go through a very, very involved process to submit everything to get the nutritional information. So I'm hoping, as long as they don't change up the dishes, all that information would be accurate.
Well, the corporate menus, you know, let's say this is just an example, Cheesecake Factory, because I know their info is already on their menu. You know, they have the corporate recipe for each of those things. So the law is for any restaurant that has more than 20 locations.
Oh, okay.
It then gets considered a chain, and it has to be published. So they have to have corporate menus then.
And to that point, I mean, I had friends that worked at Olive Garden in college, and you get 3 tomatoes, you get 1
right.
onion. I mean, everything is.
And then somebody has figured out the calorie and fat and nutrition.
The reason I'm suspicious is sometimes I tell my daughter, oh no, it's only got 150 calories, and I'm pouring on the sauce.
Well, I know that I personally, whenever, you know, I had the Fitbit watch and that sort of thing, and you know, you get on the app and you're supposed to input the things that you eat. So you're watching a calorie count like accrue throughout the day. I would make different choices when I realized, oh, I want to have this, but it's going to put me over my goal, you know, so I can have half of that. So knowing the calories or the fat or whatever content I was having did make me change my decision. So
I think it's responsible. I know that there was, I don't want to call anybody out, there was a place that I used to go to, it was a smoothie place, and I always thought I was making healthy decisions until I found out that they put, you know, 3/4 a cup of sugar into the smoothie, and so that has changed. I don't order that anymore.
Yes.
Yeah.
No,
So
and
still go
Joey,
there.
you mentioned that if you're in between 2 things on the menu and the numbers are right there, at that point I'm like, all right, well, if I was willing to have it anyway, and now I know that it's lower calories, that
Yes.
would be a better choice.
Yeah.
So, no, knowledge is power. I mean, I think since we know that the obesity epidemic is killing people and a big problem here, I think anything we can do.
And I'm going to be more honest in my calorie counts to my guests.
Well, it's easier when the restaurant counts it, because I figure they're probably a little more honest than I am. So Sunday, Monday, happy days. The matriarch of the Cunningham family from the hit sitcom, says that family really did have happy days together as a cast. Actress Marion Ross has a new memoir out called My Days, Happy and Otherwise. And in it, she says the cast that played the Cunningham family really liked each other. So much so that they did things like play softball as a team during much of their time off set. She said it kept the cast together and that they always made time to play ball when they weren't in production. Greg, we were holding this to have somebody who understands, cast relationships well. How important is it that people really like each other?
It's very important because when you have the star of the show, for instance, if they're having a bad day, you feel it. The minute they come on set, you feel everybody's like, uh-oh, it's quieter. When they're having a good day, it's great. So when you have a cast that gets along really well, it makes me think of a show that I did with John Goodman that was one season. It was called Normal, Ohio, where I played his son, and we had a great cast, a big extended cast. And when it was canceled, and we knew it was canceled, we filmed one last episode knowing we were canceled. The tears, it was like when we took our final bows, and we felt that because we were all very close over the season that we filmed together. And it was like you had created a family, and for years after that, those of us would still get together and see one another, have lunch, and do things, even though we'd all moved on to other projects.
Suncoast View is like that. People ask me at Music on Main, they ask me all over, do you guys really get along as much as you look like you do? And we really do. This part of my life every day is always great and fun and just something I laugh about. Then real life sets in when I get out of here. But this is always a good, happy island for me.
Chemistry isn't fakeable, and we know that in what we do, because obviously this show is just about being real. I know from decades of news anchoring, chemistry is hard to fake, even for that. But I did wonder, when you're in a role, you're obviously in a character anyway, so I didn't know how much it mattered.
When it's hard is when you have to be sort of disliking the other character who you like so much. That's actually when it's more difficult. I had to do an improvisation once in a room with Billy Bob Thornton, where the director said, all right, just improv and lay into him. It was for Bad Santa. I was up for one of the roles. And he was the character was a horrible person. So like, no, just criticize him. Just go at Billy Bob.
Right.
And I'm sitting here looking at this man with a smile on his face, and I'm like, I love Billy Bob Thornton. How am I
going to do this?
How am I supposed to do that? So it was, needless to say, that probably cost me the.
You're so good at
I just I could give about 50%.
Right. Oh, that's very
I
interesting.
just can't do this.
Well, an art museum in Paris is showing 100%. They exposed visitors to much more than just provocative paintings this weekend. Patrons took in the art and took off all their clothes. The Palais de Tokyo Museum opened its doors to nudists for a special visit Saturday. Ironically, this is part of growing efforts by France's nudist community to encourage acceptance of clothes-free activities. The museum visit was arranged before regular opening hours. Well, they always say eyes up here. Well, I guess when you're at the museum in that case, it's eyes over there at the painting. Nothing to see here.
Museums are supposed to show the beauty of the human body. And when the nudists come in, it's not going to be all beauty.
It's a little subjective, I guess.
And ask me how I know that, because I went to a nude beach once, and I had a swimsuit. I swear I did. But those bodies were not all beautiful.
There is, yes, I do understand. I mean, I don't speak from experience, but I do understand that there is an acceptance of your body in the nudist community. What I'm more upset with is not the fact that they're nudists and they're at a museum, but when I've traveled and I've gone into churches or museums in Europe, I have to put on one of those paper robes if I'm wearing a tank top. Yet they can just let it all. Yeah. Several times I've had to put on those, almost like when you're at the doctor's office, those paper gowns to cover my shoulders.
You were Joey. Inappropriately dressed in a tank top in Europe. I did not know
Yet they can let it all hang out.
That's not fair.
Fairness, that's what I want.
That's very
I would be fine with just let's be able to wear pajamas around. If that was acceptable, just some comfortable.
That's called college.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what they wear there.
Don't need to be completely nude, but just
Just comfortable. We like comfort.
It's fun to take a nice look back. It's also good to take a look at the weather forecast. We're going to check in with our happy hour weather forecast. When we come back, an important message about helping Suncoast mothers and infants.
Good morning. I'm Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan. We are looking at some showers mainly to the north of us right now associated with a weak frontal system. That frontal system, again, causing some problems with some rain near Gainesville, also near Daytona Beach. But we haven't got a lot of rainfall here. It looks like it'll stay that way, too. Just a slight chance for a few showers. You see some fair weather cumulus clouds moving off to the east right now. Some heavier activity near Daytona Beach. A lot of lightning strikes there, too. A tremendous amount pushing off to the east. A few inland storms near Highlands County, also northeast DeSoto County. Not much going on along the immediate west coast. There's that big cell there. That's pushing away from I-75. You can see a tremendous amount of lightning occurring with that particular cell. Nothing like that going on here. The planner for Tuesday looks good for us. We'll see just a few clouds around. Temperatures will be warmer. It'll still be sticky, too. High dew point temperatures will bring us the feels-like temperatures in the low to mid-90s once again in the afternoon. And a chance for rain mainly along the east coast through this evening. We'll have much more in our forecast coming up at 5. See you then.
There is a growing problem for Suncoast mothers that some might not even be aware of. Let's take a look at what the First 1,000 Days program is doing to help childhood development.
In Sarasota County, 52% of the babies are born into poverty. These infants are often starting their lives without stable housing, food, and health care. But the Suncoast has the resources to help these babies and their families. Kelly Romanoff from the Charles and Marjorie Borancic Foundation is here to tell us about a community program that is making a big difference. The program is called the First 1,000 Days, Kelly. What does that name mean? Why that name?
Good morning, Linda. The first 1,000 days of life is when our brains develop, and that sets the course for that individual's well-being for many years to come. By the age of 2, 80% of a baby's brain is done growing. So if we can help that family when the baby's being conceived and born, set them up for optimal success, they're going to have a long and well life in front of them.
Of course, I should mention that you're not here alone. You're going to have a baby in what?
Next week.
Next week. So we have an expert, and those first 1,000 days are making a difference in every baby's life, right?
Yes, ma'am. And there's such different paths that a child can go down if they have the resources, the food, the nourishment, the stability they need, versus if they are sadly neglected or undernourished. You can see the science of the brain and the underdevelopment, and so we are wrapping that family with all of the care that's available in our community to make sure that that child has the resources they need in the first 1,000 days of life.
What are the goals of this program?
We started a conversation about how we can help parents be their child's first and best teacher. And at Borancic Foundation, we invite the people into the room who are doing the work. So we invited our healthcare nonprofits, our early childhood nonprofits, our hospital leaders. And what we found is there was a lack of warm handoff between when that baby was born and getting them to the community resources they needed. And it's a maze. It's hard. You guys know navigating healthcare is difficult.
Yeah.
And so you can see this maze on the screen here. Those are all the services that are in our community. But if you are financially disadvantaged and you're caring for an infant, how are you going to navigate that picture?
Right.
How can anybody navigate it? It takes a lot of time. It's like a full-time job.
Yes, ma'am. So we said, okay, we have an accountability to better serve these families. And we are creating a fluid system of care, and it's starting at Sarasota Memorial Hospital. We're putting patient navigators at the hospital who will identify the families in need at the time the child is born and personally handhold and guide them to those different services, really sticking with them through every stage of that child's development.
Oh, what a wonderful thing. What a relief to these parents. So are these new programs at Sarasota Memorial, or are you clarifying programs that are already there?
A little bit of both. There's no new nonprofit being developed or new programs being developed. We're just putting 2 new staff at the hospital who will be those patient navigators and make sure that the nonprofits who are caring for that family are all talking and there's a cohesive care plan, as well as meeting every need of the family along their way. So no new programs, but just help to get to those programs.
Oh,
it's great that the basis was already there. You know, that we have the programs, because we do know, I mean, the hundreds of nonprofits that are here, so many are focused on kids, but it's bothersome to know that people weren't able to find those benefits.
Yeah, and you wouldn't want to see those services go away because they weren't being taken advantage of when you know they're the people that needed it. It's almost like, I don't want to simplify it, but like a matchmaking in a way.
Correct.
You find the people that need it and you find the services that are doing it.
What do the parents say?
Oh, they're incredibly relieved and grateful, and so many times they don't know the service that exists. They're just sitting there struggling, trying to figure out, why is my baby crying, or where do I find this resource that I so desperately need? They're not connected. So we are that connection, that Velcro connection, to make sure that whatever they need is satisfied. Because again, the programs are there in our community, and that's part of what we're celebrating, is the good work of our nonprofit partners, but just putting it at a greater access point for the families who need it most.
What can we do to help? What a rich community we have, and 52% of our babies are born into poverty. The rest of us have got to pitch in. What can we do?
That's right, that's right. So First 1,000 Days Sarasota County is raising $1 million to cover 3 years of this pilot initiative at the hospital. Those funds will also be used for outreach and education to let the families know these services exist. Charitable funds have been established at Gulf Coast Community Foundation and Community Foundation of Sarasota County that people can donate towards that goal. And I would also encourage you can go to BrancicFoundation.org, our website, and see a list of all the 32 partners who have been involved in creating this stronger system of care in First 1,000 Days. And if you see something that moves you or sparks your passion, contact them, get involved, support the individual agencies, as well as financially contributing to the initiative.
Just look at those babies. That'll inspire.
That's right.
What a wonderful program. That
Thank
is
you.
awesome. And to find out more how you can help, you can go to the website. It is the Barancic Foundation. Their website you can see on the screen, and we've got to help those kids get a good start.
Oh, a great program, and great to know about all the great work that's happening here on the Suncoast. And we also wanted to give you an update on Kelly. She has since had her baby. Little Jimmy weighed in at 7 pounds and 13 ounces. So congratulations to her and all of the great work she's doing. Coming up next, why are movies that take place in Florida not being filmed in Florida? We'll discuss.
When my youngest, Addie, was 2.5, she was diagnosed with leukemia. When we first heard that diagnosis, you feel extremely alone. Walking in that Light the Night light with 6,000 people carrying lights, white for survivors, red for supporters, gold in memory of those who have passed. It's the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society's hope that every year there are fewer gold lanterns. Your lantern will make a difference.
Start a team, join a team.
Help us light the night.
Judy here, I think hospice was a tremendous source of support for her.
Absolutely. With Jennifer and Kimberly and Liza's constant contact with us, coming in, just knowing that there was someone with knowledge there to back us up, to answer our questions, it made a world of difference.
Excuse me a minute. Hi, Dad. No, don't try to get up.
Hi, I'm Julie, a right-at-home caregiver. And if I'd been caring for Tom's dad, I would have noticed some dizziness that could lead to balance issues. That's because I'm trained to report any changes in behavior, no matter how small, so Tom could have peace of mind.
We'll be right there. We have to go.
Hey, Tom, you should try Right at Home. They're great for us.
The right care, right at home.
We answered the call of duty and left our homes to serve in far-off lands. Now, we answer another call, this time at home, in our own communities, to respond in times of chaos, to use our strength, our skills, and our experiences to bring hope amid devastation and destruction. Together, as a team of brothers and sisters, we're continuing our mission to make this country a little stronger and a little better each day. We are Team Rubicon.
Thank you.
You got a king?
Go fish!
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
When we had film actor and acting coach Greg Pitts on our show, we asked why there was a recent trend of Florida-based shows and movies not filmed here in Florida. His answer surprised us. Let's take a look. There's growing concern that Florida is not offering enough incentives for film and TV productions, especially with Georgia's film industry currently booming. The biggest concern is shows and films that are taking place in Florida, but they're not shot here, including HBO's Ballers, the Oscar-nominated film Hidden Figures, and even the recent Baywatch remake. So, Greg, you are a Venice native, and you've had a very successful film career, and you have come back to live here now. This is kind of a hot button issue for you.
Absolutely, and what's interesting, you mentioned Ballers. Ballers started out in Miami. They moved to Los Angeles because it was cheaper.
Wow.
To Los Angeles to film.
Oh, that's crazy.
Over the last 2 years, I think it's estimated that we've lost about $1 billion in Florida to production that's either left or decided to go elsewhere. We're only one. There's 35 states that have film incentives. We're the only one in the Southeast without any. And I know that the pushback is kind of like, well, you know, industries should thrive on their own. You know, they either make it or don't. The government shouldn't get involved. Well, the federal government apparently gets involved all over the place because a lot of states are having incentive programs.
Oh, Atlanta's doing so great.
Yes.
I mean, they even have tours that you can go on to see where they are making these many, many films.
Why don't our lawmakers seem to be concerned about the fact that they're evacuating the industry?
Right, it seems like it should be a little bit more alarming.
Yeah.
And Governor Scott was pretty good with the film stuff. Like he seemed to embrace it. You know, as much as people want it, he would bring it in. And I don't understand. I've never been given a good logical explanation as to why they're like, no, we just don't want this, because the proof is there. Salaries go up exponentially. All the heads in the heads in the beds, as they say.
Right. Yeah, help people
Restaurants
understand when a film crew comes to shoot in Florida. What are some of the other the butterfly effect, if you will, of all of the other industries that benefit?
Well, what you're doing is you're creating something that will keep people in Florida. People will want to grow roots if they can have a prosperous career in something creative. And I think that's, earlier in the show we were talking, I mentioned, I don't know what I would have done if I would have just stayed here after college, because wanting to go into a film career, for instance, this would open up, you have editors, directors, production staff, people, and not unlike the offices here, you have a lot of people working behind the scenes. Nowadays, you see at the end of films, they'll show all the people that worked, and then there's like the Film Georgia or the logo, Louisiana. And they'll oftentimes say, 15,000 people were employed by this movie.
Well, it seems like we have the perfect settings. I mean, there's the beach, there's the urban core. You can go east and find country. I mean, there's everything you would need.
And when something takes place in Florida, it is kind of upsetting to see it not filmed here. They have to recreate it somewhere. Bloodline on Netflix, I know, tried to film here.
Yeah, they were down in the Keys.
Yes, but then they ran out of, it was very expensive.
It was a fantastic show, and they had to sort of expedite an end to it because they knew the incentives were done. The cost of production was going to escalate to where they couldn't keep doing it, and so then they had this sort of contrived final season where they just kind of pushed it through so they could have a complete package to put on a DVD or whatever.
What a shame.
Yeah, and such an amazing show. If you start watching it, if you haven't watched it, you can go binge watch it.
Yes, and actually I've seen a lot of local actors have made cameos. So, well, you can find more about what's going on. This is where I got my information from you, actually, from Greg's Facebook page, On Tape Sarasota with Greg Pitts. We'll keep an eye on what's happening with the Florida state entertainment industry. Coming up next, we're going to learn how to fight back against Suncoast summer bugs, and they're coming.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
Selfless service is the principle that guides Army National Guard soldiers to be ready whenever disaster strikes. They have a stake in the well-being of the neighborhoods where they live and work. They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times. Selfless service. It's what inspires the men and women of the Army National Guard to be part of something greater than themselves. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more.
We are problem solvers striving for answers. Relevancy on every platform. We are driven to create content that's compelling, engaging, where it matters. We are neighbors that care about solutions, believers in making a difference, leaders. Innovating in an exciting era of multimedia, reaching to always be the gold standard in our evolving landscape. We are Raycom Media. Find your opportunity today.
My name is Haley. I have Fragile X syndrome. I work with Chartwells at Einstein's and FAU. I like being up front and interacting with students. The students are very nice and very hungry. Having a job is a big ticket for independence.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Welcome back to Suncoast View. Let's check back in the kitchen with Chef Caroline from Libby's. And Caroline, I know you have something very special coming up for Dad. Tell us about the brunch.
Yeah, we sure do. So bring your dad in on Father's Day, and we have a great burger and draft beer special all day.
What a wonderful deal. And $10.
$10, yeah, you can't beat it.
Great.
To get Dad a burger and
Really
a beer.
is.
That's June 17th. And of course, people will want to call and make reservations.
Absolutely.
For that special Father's Day.
I would recommend it.
Yes.
Such a
All
deal.
right. Well, we can't wait to join you a little later on.
Perfect.
Mosquitoes can be more than just annoying. They can also spread disease to both people and our pets. Matthew Smith and Taylor Greenan of Sarasota County Mosquito Management are here to help protect us from these pesky pests. It seems too early. I don't want the mosquitoes here yet.
It's never too early for mosquitoes. This is Florida. You have mosquitoes year-round. They're just worse.
They're getting aggressive.
Yeah.
All right, so you actually have a great visual that shows us where are we right now in May in their life cycle.
Really, I would just like to say it's more of the ramp up. Actually, you've got all those all the time. The life cycle is actually a pretty quick cycle, but right now you're having a lot of things that either overwintered as larvae or pupae or even as adults getting going now. So you have eggs hatching, larvae starting to mature that may have been dormant, during the winter season, and adults that were hiding. They're going to come out and start biting, sucking blood, generating those eggs, and looking for places to lay them. So all we need now is some more water, and we'll have a problem.
Oh, so the water will obviously stimulate the growth.
Yes.
All right, you brought, speaking of water, there's water in this example that you also brought to show us a little more about their life cycle. Show us what we have here.
I think we have all the stages represented. You can see some, oh, sorry, Joe.
That's all right. We're going to move them around a
Yeah,
little. So these are all the stages.
Yeah.
Even just seeing them, I'm starting to itch.
Yeah, usually if you blow on them, they'll get to flying around.
Okay.
We've got adult females, there's eggs in the bottom and larvae, and maybe even some pupae. The pupae is the stage where the larva, which is completely aquatic, reorganizes into an adult. So they're the little things that look like a comma.
So we hear all the time to get rid of standing water. Is this an example of why? Because they like it, they breed in it?
So this is what could be happening in our yard now.
If we don't dump our pots and all that kind of thing?
Taylor's our new outreach coordinator, and that's her job, is to try to convince every single person in Sarasota County to dump out water.
I have a question about standing water. If somebody has a vacant house, pool unattended, and it's full of water that maybe had chemicals in it at one point, can it be a breeding ground for mosquitoes if it's gone
That's bad news. That's
We
bad
used
news
to have
for
one
a
of
lot
those,
us.
yes.
So I have a question. I'm always the first one to get bit whenever I'm in a group. Are there certain people or blood types that mosquitoes are drawn to? Do we know?
I do know that science thus far has been able to determine that mosquitoes have a preference for certain people over others, so there will be people getting bit more often than others. However, they haven't really been able to piece together specifically or that really important pinpoint of why they are choosing others.
You're just fun to be
Great.
around,
Yeah.
Joey.
I'm big with mosquitoes. Well, it isn't just actually about people. I know they're annoying to us, but they actually can harm our pets as well. And you brought something, it's a little bit hard to look at, I'll be honest, but it is important to know. Tell us what you brought here.
So we have a dog heart. It has been infected with a heartworm, which is a parasite that mosquitoes can transmit to your dog if you don't medicate them. So
This is what infection looks like. The long strings are
Yes,
actually
that's
the
spaghetti-looking stuff.
Yes.
So do mosquitoes bite dogs?
Yes.
Okay, so when we give them, I know in my case, we do the monthly pill. So that prevents them from getting the problem from the mosquitoes.
Correct.
Okay,
Yes.
that's
But
interesting.
not getting bitten?
They still get bit.
They
It's
still,
just,
yes.
Okay, it's
that
not
will
a
help.
that-
So I know this is difficult to look at, but it is important to know that this can
That's
happen
awful.
if you don't
Yeah.
seek help for your dogs. In the past, you have brought some tips of the 5Ds or the 4Ds, and I'll be honest, I don't remember them, of ways that we can, kind of protect ourselves. But I hear that you've simplified them a little bit.
Yes, yeah, for the most part, it's just really dump and cover. So anything that you've got out in your yard that is holding water, you want to dump it and then either bring it inside and just kind of simplify things to make sure that there's no standing water.
And then keep yourself covered is the cover
Yes.
part.
Yes.
I know we have bromeliads in our yard which hold a lot of water, and so I'm constantly trying to drain them or put things over them so that they won't. You have another option, which I love, in front of Stephanie. You have fish that can help. Tell us about the fish program.
Yeah, we do. We have an entire aquaculture system at our compound where we grow these things. They're wild, they're native fish. So we take them out of the wild, we grow them. It's a better way to keep track of them. Make sure you're not transporting any invasive species around by just moving fish from pond to pond. And you put those in a water source like an old pool or fountains, koi ponds, things like that, and they'll breed and reproduce and eat tons and tons of larvae. They're great. They're great control. And we make these available to the public. People can call and schedule and come by and pick them up. Our technicians use them as a form of treatment so that we use less chemical.
That's great.
I did that in my neighborhood.
Yes.
Yeah.
We had a pool that hadn't been used in a year or so we got the fish, dumped them in, and it worked. It really works for all of us.
It's just another tool in the toolkit. We have a lot of tools in our toolkit, fortunately. Because mosquitoes breed in so many various different types of habitats and different ones bite different things. This is just one of the tools. They're
It's a
hard-working
great
tool.
resource you have. Now, all right, mosquitoes are one thing, but before we go, I want to talk a little bit about love bugs.
Yeah.
If you haven't, if you've stepped outside, you've noticed it is their season. So I have a couple questions, because I've heard some rumors about love bugs. First of all, were they genetically engineered in Florida in a lab? That is the biggest rumor that I've ever heard.
No, they were not. I can unequivocally say they were not. They are natural organisms. Love bugs are, they're a species of fly. The scientific family name is the Bibionidae, the family. And there's actually a species of love bug that's native to Florida. It's called Plesia americana, and then the ones that you see everywhere else are Plesia nearctica. They actually originated in Central America, but they're believed to have migrated naturally. Just a lot of that migration occurred in the early part of the century. So there are writings as far back as 1910 about major love bug problems in Louisiana.
Do they have a purpose? I mean, seriously, what is their purpose in life?
I always tell them they have the same purpose as we do, as anything does. You know, it's like anything living, it's like you can almost, it's like with a metaphysical question, what is the purpose?
Right.
But they do, things eat them. The larvae live most of the year in the top layer of the soil, and they eat like the old vegetative matter. So, I mean, they are considered decayers. They do feed on nectar somewhat, so they can be considered pollinators. They're a food source. They're just problematic because they come out 2 times a year, big swarms,
Masses.
get all over your car.
Is there any threat to them? Is there any threat to the love bugs?
No.
Yeah, who eats them?
Not enough.
Not enough. Yeah, good
But
answer.
I did hear wash your car. If they're on the front of your
Yeah.
car, wash your car because they will ruin the paint.
How long will they last?
Usually about a month.
All right. Well, hopefully that part of the month will go by quick.
2 times a year, though.
To find out more about getting the fish and the other Sarasota County preventions that you'll need to fight the mosquitoes, and I don't know, maybe we can fight the love bugs, you want to go to the county's website, scgov.net, and go to Mosquito Management Services tab. All right, coming up next, we're going to learn how to pamper Mom for Mother's Day.
Download the all-new ABC7 First Alert weather app now.
My name is Luke Perry, and I am 1 million strong. I'm in the fight against colorectal cancer because I believe we can win it. Colon and rectal cancers are the second leading cause of cancer deaths among men and women in the U.S. Colon cancer is preventable. Know the risk factors and make sure to get screened. There are simple, take-home options available. Take control of your health. Screening for colon cancer isn't embarrassing. It can be life-saving. To find out more about your options, visit fightcrc.org.
This is an ABC7 News Update.
Good afternoon, I'm Jacqueline Matter. Here's what we're working on for 5 o'clock. The 7th shooting in the last month in North Sarasota, how law enforcement is working to get to the bottom of the issue. Plus, how American Airlines is making it easier to fly from Sarasota to Texas. Now let's get a check on our First Alert weather forecast with Bob.
Well, the satellite radar picture again, satellite showing some clouds to the north of us associated with a weak front of our big storms firing up along the east coast and over north central Florida right now. Not much going on here, and it should stay that way too through this evening. The storms that you see inland are pushing off to the east away from the coastline right now. Not much happening right here, but boy, this is a large cell of storms associated with a weak frontal boundary will continue to slide down to the south and bring us a little bit better chance for a few showers here tomorrow. We'll have much more in that forecast coming up and let you know about our rain chances for the rest of the work week and take a look at the weekend coming up today at 5. See you then.
ABC 7, the Suncoast's official Florida lottery station.
Thank you.
You are the best protection she has. Buddy up. I'm Jill Harrington. Please visit HelpSaveTheNextGirl.com and get involved.
I heard about the Detoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Detoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was and some additional cancers that were not found during the biopsy. I would recommend the Detoli Cancer Center. As a group of human beings, they are unbelievably great.
Our nation's servicemen and women show great courage and leadership, both on and off the battlefield. When they transition to civilian life, they can apply the skills and values they learned in the military to the workplace. That's why the Coalition to Salute America's Heroes is urging employers everywhere to be smart, bet on a vet. Hiring a veteran is also a great way to show your appreciation for them. To learn more, call 1-888-44-SALUTE.
We love hearing from our viewers, and we got an email about our beauty expert, Mickey Williams. Miranda wrote in and said, Mickey's Mother's Day segment had so many great things that I wanted. I'm not even a mom. What were those fancy brushes that she had? Well, we figure it's a great excuse to take a look at some of the great products. You don't need Mother's Day. You can pamper Mom. Let's take a look. So our beauty expert, Mickey Williams, is here with some great ideas for a little pampering party for Mom. These are great gift ideas, Mickey.
Yeah, and one of them's like a #1 requested. But first off, like, come on, give Mom breakfast in bed, please. Like, that is a 100% thing, right?
Yes.
And I love it too. Like, instead of just, I love these little vases. These are by Villeray and Buck. And what's amazing about them is they're all they're handmade. They have these gorgeous little colors. Throw that on a breakfast tray. It's super affordable. And you know what? Moms really like hand-picked flowers. Now, I didn't personally pick these, but I do actually love that look. So throw it on a breakfast tray, and you're giving Mom a vase at the same time. I love that idea because you did a little bit of something for her. But now let's talk about what else to put on that breakfast tray.
Yes,
okay? So I love, 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 and so does the rest of the world, sheet masks right now. And these are the biggest hits. And why wouldn't you say, Mom, just go ahead, stay in bed, why don't you do a sheet mask? We're going to go get you the rest of your breakfast. Here's your coffee. You can use this one on your lips. I love these. You can get them anywhere. They're so affordable.
What
you
is
can
a
get them.
sheet mask as opposed to a regular?
I'm glad you asked
Basically,
that, Joey.
what
I
a
didn't wanna
sheet
look
mask
dumb.
is, and this is really something super easy to show you, it's a little sheet that you put right on your face. So it's got all of the hydration and the nutrients that you need right inside, and you just take them out, you unfold them, and they go right onto your face.
Okay.
So mom doesn't have to worry about the mess of cleanup. She really doesn't even have to get out of bed afterwards. She can just take it right off.
Oh, look, it's got eyes and
yeah,
nose.
and I'm telling you, they come in all different varieties. You have very expensive ones. You have products like, Shiseido. You have products like Lancome, but you also have some that you can find at Walmart. Just make sure you get something that's really and truly kind of hydrating and pampering for mom. We love those kind of things.
I like the one for the lips too. That you showed us
I know,
at
that's
first,
so cute. It's
this
like,
is
Mom, let me
great.
give you a kiss, and you have this little, lip mask on. I love it.
All right, now no one wants to suggest that mom needs exercise, but you say this is a very requested gift, this next one.
Very, very mom's request where they wanted to get a tracker, some kind of fitness tracker that was fashionable, but they also wanted something that would monitor their sleep. Moms want more sleep. So this is incredible. This is the Fitbit, and this actually is their Flex 2. And what moms also said is that they've spent a long time with their favorite watch, and they don't want to take their watch off. So they don't want these really kind of heavy watch-like Fitbits. What they want is they want something that's going to look somewhat like kind of jewelry, but also something that can kind of be inconspicuous. So that's why moms love this one, and it does actually monitor your sleep as well.
If my children are listening, I'll take one of these.
See? And that was the #1 request from moms.
So we're not insulting mom if we give her a Fitbit.
No, I mean, maybe just ask her what she wants. But yeah, this was, they took a panel and they said you would be so surprised. Moms of all ages want a tracker,
and
some
monitoring
sort of a tracker.
sleep is a big part that not a lot of people realize the Fitbit does. It'll tell you how many times you've woken up in the night, which is huge.
Exactly, and I love this too for new moms. It's waterproof.
Oh,
so I
that's
love
very
that.
good. That's very good.
This is the Diva Mom
Yes.
gift right here. I
This
love
looks-
this.
I wasn't sure if it was cutlery, but then when you look in, it's a beautiful, beautiful set of brushes.
This is an award-winning makeup brush line, and it's basically a different concept than anything else. This is the Artiste, and this is actually their new Elite collection, and it actually has this fiber on it that the handles are made of the same thing that some car engines are made out of.
Oh my goodness.
I know.
This is
the
serious.
brushes are so soft, so beautiful. Linda, I can pet you with
You
it
have
if you
one for
want.
Linda,
Okay,
yes.
they got
Let me feel
here.
that.
They're so soft. They're so beautiful. You think that they're like mink, but they're actually
They does feel like
cruelty-free. They're animal-friendly. It's a really genius kind of lush mom experience. What I loved about this is when I would go into some of my celebrity clients, I would see that they would have them kind of draped across their vanity, and it would look like, those old hairbrushes. And I was like, this looks like kind of like Marie Antoinette tools. Like, it's really incredible.
It's interesting too, Mickey. I mean, I don't know a lot about makeup, but there's all different shapes and sizes.
Yes, now that's
and
obviously the
directions.
most amazing collection that you could buy from mom right there. And even some of those brushes, I don't know exactly how to use them, but there are some really great
that's
benefits to
pretty
using.
incredible.
Yeah.
Wow,
So you
what
can
a
basically buff
great-
away any wrinkle right there with that baby and apply perfectly. So these are just kind of like beauty infused, but at the same time, start off with breakfast for mom, give her a little bit of extra sleep with a waterproof Fitbit that'll monitor her tracking, and then when she's ready to go glam, that's definitely
lovely.
This
Yes.
is the
She'll feel
ultimate.
like a star.
Yes. Well, these are great ideas. Thank you, Mickey. You can find many more great gift ideas and always the best in the latest health and beauty products by visiting Mickey's website, sharetheglam.com. Well, just because Mother's Day is over, you can still pamper mom. All great items.
I want that one that covers all wrinkles. Yes.
Well, actually, Mickey will be back on our show tomorrow, and she's
good.
bringing a new skincare line, so maybe it'll tackle that.
Okay, I'll hold out till then.
All right. Well, you hold out for the kitchen. We'll be heading into the kitchen pretty soon with Libby's Cafe and Bar.
Northland Outdoors is about so much more than the biggest fish or the hottest hunting spots. All across the Northland, there are amazing people with incredible stories to tell. We're going to find those stories and share them with everyone. Join us each and every week as we explore the Northland and experience some of the most exciting outdoor adventures in the country right here in our own backyard. This is Northland Outdoors.
Thanks to the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, what was once impossible is happening today for thousands of patients with blood cancer.
I live.
I live. I live. I live.
I live.
She lives.
Because of the research done by the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society in the battle against blood cancer.
If you had a chance to support the research that is saving lives, what would you do?
The skills you develop as a soldier in the Army National Guard can give you a head start on your career. Gain practical experience with technology and equipment that will give you a leg up in the civilian world. Learn critical leadership skills and to be part of a team. Serve your community and your country part-time while earning money for an education. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn about the paid training and career opportunities available to you in the Army National Guard.
I'll be right back. Hi! You think you're probably sober?
Yeah.
But you're thinking about taking the back roads home, just in case. If you're probably sober, then why would you do that? Good choice.
Probably okay isn't okay. If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
That's a full glass of wine. I'll be chatting you later.
Hunger is a growing problem in our area, and a huge number of Suncoast residents are suffering in silence.
It could be your coworker,
Your child's classmate.
or your friend fighting to secure their next meal. But you can help.
ABC7 is partnering with local organizations to help feed the Suncoast.
Go to mysuncoast.com/hunger to join the fight. Help us.
Help the hungry.
My name is Stephen Jaffe. The law firm's name is Farmer Jaffe. One of the beautiful things about Julius is he's always smiling, and it becomes infectious. The fact that Julius has a disability has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of work that he's done. Just a great person you want on your staff.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Well, we do want to remind everyone about Savor Sarasota Restaurant Week. It is happening now through June 14th. Dozens of restaurants featuring prix-fixe, $16 lunch, and $32 dinner menus.
A chance to try something new.
Absolutely.
We get in a rut and go to the same ones all the time.
Yes.
With this one, we try the new ones.
Great participating restaurants and chefs. You can find the full list at savorsarasota.com. And actually, Chef Judy will be previewing some of those restaurants later on this week. All right, we're going to be heading into the kitchen with Libby's Cafe and Bar.
ABC7, the Suncoast's official Florida lottery station.
Designers do it with style.
Tell me what's going on here.
Why, you don't like my hair? The Mark and Mandy Show. In-depth design ideas.
What is up with the tuck tape here? Let's cover it up.
Amazing beauty and fashion tips.
So Halle Berry has amazing skin. Her secret is coffee grounds.
No.
Delicious recipes.
Today, I'm gonna show you a special dish that is sure to please that special someone in your life.
Watch the Mark and Mandy Show right here on your favorite channel.
This is an ABC7 News Update.
Hello, I'm Jacqueline Matter. Here's what we're working on for 5 o'clock. Florida has tightened its over-the-counter gun laws, but it hasn't implemented much change. Why? It's still just as easy to obtain a firearm as it is a lawnmower. Now let's get a check on our first alert weather forecast with Bob. Bob?
A hot one today with high dew point temperatures making it feel like 100 degrees today. The heat is on, and overnight lows this morning were record-breaking for staying so warm overnight into the upper 70s to low 80s. Get a look at the big storms to the north of us associated with a very weak frontal boundary, which will be bringing us a chance for some showers overnight. We'll talk about that coming up at 5. You can see a lot of rain down to our south and along the east coast, all pushing away from the west coast, so things are fairly quiet here and should stay that way too, as I said, through most of the evening hours. But after midnight, a different story as some showers expected to roll in from the Gulf. We'll talk about that and the rest of the week's weather and give you the rain chances coming up at 5.
Get breaking news alerts focused on the Suncoast. Download the ABC7 News app.
I heard about the Detoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Detoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was. I can tell you that you will not find a finer, more professional team of clinicians anywhere in the world.
If you're only hungry for a slice of apple pie, why buy the whole pie? And you certainly wouldn't want to pay for an all-you-can-eat buffet. So if you don't use your cell phone that much, why get charged for a plan that's too big, or even an unlimited plan? Luckily, there's still a wireless company that shares your values. Welcome to Consumer Cellular. Our average customer pays about $25 a month for everything they need. Many pay even less, as plans start at just $15 a month. You'll get a straightforward bill that's easy to understand with no surprises and all the attention you deserve from our friendly customer service team. No wonder Consumer Cellular has received the J.D. Power Award for highest customer service 4 times in a row. Plus, if you're an AARP member, you'll receive special discounts. It's easy to switch. You can even keep your phone and your number. So stop paying for more than you need and start your 30-day risk-free trial today. Call 800-457-2317. Go online or visit a Target store today.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance through TrueStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call. TrueStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
And even if you're on a fixed income, prices fit your budget, starting at less than 32 cents a day. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease. And with no medical tests or health questions, you cannot be turned down for any reason. Call 1-800-842-7189. Now, for a free, no-obligation quote, TrueStage offers plans to fit your budget. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance through TrueStage. Call 1-800-842-7189 now.
Coming up Tuesday at 4 on Suncoast View, a country music legend gets a big celebration at Florida Studio Theater. We'll preview the latest musical, Always Patsy Cline. We'll chat with the stars about Patsy Cline's life and lasting influence. The Sarasota Tarpon Tournament is in full swing. We need a few tips before we cast out. We get a lesson from a fishing pro. Plus, our beauty expert brings a new skincare line that tackles tough lines and wrinkles. And a brand new bagel food truck joins us in the kitchen.
Welcome back. We're in the kitchen with Chef Carolyn from Libby's. So what are we doing to this squash?
Okay, well, we're going to make it pretty much into spaghetti.
Okay, I want to see that happen.
All right, so we bake the squash for about 30 minutes. So you cut it in half and you take out all the seeds and all the goo that's inside, like a pumpkin.
Yeah, sure,
okay?
sure.
And then about 20, 30 minutes, depending on the size of the squash, then you kind of like break it up a little, just like that.
So you're loosening it,
I'm
sort of?
loosening it, yep, so you don't kind of, you want to be a little gentle, and then I use my hands, glove, and I just get in there and kind of just scrape it away.
And do you try to keep it in bigger pieces
yes.
so that it has the spaghetti?
So it comes out. Yeah, you want to be gentle.
Because it's got to look like spaghetti.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is a great option as we're getting into the warmer temperatures. It's
yes,
a cooler option.
Yes,
nice, light, and healthy.
Can I do something to this over here?
Absolutely.
Kale, it happens to be.
Fresh kale, yes.
All right, so what do we have Linda doing with the kale?
So at Libby's, we kind of blanch it and kind of make it a little bit more vibrant. Okay, so you're going to squeeze half that lemon in there.
A half a lemon.
Yeah.
Oh, I hope I didn't splash.
You're fine.
Okay.
And then put some salt.
A little bit of salt, okay.
Got it. And some extra virgin olive oil.
Okay. I don't want to
that's good.
Is that enough?
Yep.
Okay.
And then you're going to just massage it all in
massage
there.
away.
Yes.
Go right ahead without me. I'm massaging.
Taste out of the kale.
It does. The lemon kind of, the acid in the lemon kind of takes that out of there for you.
So people that have tried kale and still aren't on the bandwagon, this might be a nice option.
Do it like
this. Give it one more chance.
Even with salads and everything, it's really good to do it this way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good to know.
All right. Linda's doing a great job.
You're doing a great job. So next, so we're going to put together the dish.
Okay.
So a little extra virgin olive oil.
All right.
And I have some garlic. We're going to start here.
All right.
And some shallots.
I think my kale is happy over here.
It looks happy.
Yeah.
It's getting a deep tissue massage over there.
And roasted red peppers.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, start that cooking process.
I get a little nervous that I'm going to burn the garlic. Do you have any tips? Do you just keep moving it?
You just keep moving. You want to sweat it a little. You don't want to make it brown.
Okay.
So you just kind of make it a little translucent, I would say. Okay.
You seem to be very good at that.
At practice. And then I just take a nice handful of kale.
That has been blanched like we just did?
just like you just did.
Okay.
And some fresh spinach.
Oh, nice.
Yes, just the way it is.
Yes,
the way it grew.
Just the way it is.
People are pretty happy with the taste of spinach on its own.
And then just some salt and pepper.
I love spinach. How much when you do that?
You just, you know.
Oh, I have to have a spoon.
No, it's just by taste, you know. You can always add. You can't take it
True.
away.
Yes.
So, and then I kind of just saute this up a little bit.
Are you giving this a little bit of a head start before you put the spaghetti squash in?
Yes, because the squash is already cooked. I would say like al dente pasta. Okay, so you kind of want to heat this all up together first and get this going, and then definitely add the squash last.
Okay.
So I do that right now.
But this doesn't have to be cooked. You're just sort of warming it up.
Yes, that is correct.
Great.
But we're cooking the squash?
No, I'm just going to warm it up. I'm going to I cook the spinach and the kale and the peppers, and then squash I cooked in the oven, so we're just going to warm up the squash now.
All right, because you obviously when you scooped it out, it had cooled.
Right.
All right. And
yeah, definitely wait until it cools before you.
Oh
you go in there.
Pasta, which I love the name of, the spaghetti squash pasta, is on the menu for Savor Sarasota.
It is, definitely. And we have a lot of vegetarian options as well on our menu.
It's nice to see that you don't have to be a vegetarian, but if you appreciate vegetables, it's nice to see a few more options on all of the menus.
Yeah,
that
we have
tastes
a lot
really
of fresh.
good.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, well, we'll let you start plating up.
Okay.
We want to see it all come together.
got it.
Oh, the spaghetti sauce.
Of course, you can visit Libby's for their Savor Sarasota deal. A great deal, prefix menu for lunch or dinner. You want to go right to their website, find out what's on that menu. Also, save the date for Dad. It's the big Father's Day brunch coming up on June 17th. All right, this looks delicious. Thank you, Chef Caroline.
Welcome. Thank you very much.
And we have a brand new show tomorrow. Lots of great things, so make sure to tune in and take some time. Enjoy the Suncoast
look
view.
At that.
Perfect.